Let us understand some more concepts of inheritance. In this, I have a class person which has an instance variable name to which a value is assigned. I have overridden toString method where I am returning name is the value of name. And I have object reference which refers to an object of person. And when I write system.out.print O, what happens here? It looks for toString method in object class because I have a reference of object class. So during compilation, it looks for toString in object class. But while executing, since it is referring to an object of person, it executes toString method of person class. So when this is as good as writing O dot toString, but that is not required. I just write system.out.print O. It means that it calls toString method. So when I execute this, this gives me name is Sam, which is output of toString of person class. Now let me write this out, or system.out.println O dot getName. GetName is a getter of name instance variable inside person class. So when I write O dot getName, this gives me an error because, as I told you before, it looks for getName method inside object class because O is a reference of object. So during compilation, it looks for the method inside the class for which we have created the reference. So how do I call the standalone method getName of person class? For that, I can create another reference person p1 and I can typecast the reference O to person type and assign it to p1. Now when I print p1 dot getName, the error is gone and I can get the name Sam. I am not creating any new object here, but the reference is typecasted to another type. Now here if I write O instance of is an operator in Java which checks if a particular reference is an instance of a class. So O space instance of space person gives me true because O is a super type of, or object is a super type of person class. So O is an instance of person and it is an instance of object as well. Now if I write O instance of string and O P1 instance of string, let us see what happens. O instance of string gives me false because object O, though it is a super type of string, this does not give me any error, but it returns false because O as of now is referring to person object but not string. Whereas in the second statement, if you see P1 instance of string, P1 is a reference of person which has no relation to the string class. So because of which it gives me an error and it is an illegal statement. The previous statement gives me false. Now let us try creating a reference of person P3 and try to assign the object of object class. This is not legal. This gives me a compilation error because I cannot assign an object of super type to a reference of subtype. So just to get away from the error, compilation error, I typecast to person type. This is only to fix the compilation error. But let us see what happens when we execute it. So, when I try to execute this, this gives me a runtime exception called class cast exception, because these two types here, the reference of person and object, they are incompatible because supertype object cannot be assigned to subtype reference.